Good morning. As the sun rises over Los Angeles, there's a certain energy in the air, a sense that something unusual is about to unfold across Southern California. Today, we're turning our attention to a classic Southern California phenomenon, the Santa Ana winds. These winds are woven into the fabric of life here, shaping everything from our weather to our culture. The Santa Anas are legendary for their warmth and power. They sweep through the region, bending palm trees and stirring up dust, and can transform the mood of the city in just a few hours. For many, their arrival signals a change, sometimes excitement, sometimes caution. This weekend, starting Friday, March 6th and lasting through Sunday, Southern California will once again feel the force of these winds. But this time, it's not your typical Santa Ana event. There's a twist in the forecast that has even seasoned meteorologists taking notice. An unusual atmospheric setup is about to kick these winds into high gear. Instead of the usual pattern, we're seeing a fascinating shift, a rare alignment of weather systems that's rewriting the script for this familiar story. In this episode, we'll break down exactly what's happening, why this event is so different, and what you can expect over the next couple of days. We'll look at the science behind the winds, and how this new setup could impact everything from your morning commute to your weekend plans. Usually Santa Anas require a specific recipe of weather ingredients: high pressure over the Great Basin, low pressure off the coast, and a dry, warm air mass ready to surge through the mountain passes. But this time, the chef is trying something new, mixing up the ingredients in a way we rarely see. The storm system responsible is setting up in an unexpected spot, puzzling meteorologists and offering a great learning moment for weather enthusiasts. Computer models are showing wind patterns that don't quite fit the usual mold, making this a case study in atmospheric surprises. For millions in the LA basin and surrounding areas, this means gusty conditions that could impact your daily routine. Whether you're driving to work, heading out for a walk, or just trying to enjoy a quiet afternoon, you'll want to be aware of what's coming. We're talking winds strong enough to disrupt commutes, send patio furniture flying, and even cause minor damage if you're not prepared. It's a good time to secure loose items, check on your neighbors, and stay tuned for updates. So, as a different kind of wind blows into town, let's dive into the details of this unique weather pattern and see what makes this Santa Ana event one for the record books. What exactly are the Santa Ana winds, and why do they have such a dramatic impact on Southern California? Let's break down the science behind these infamous gusts and see how they shape the region's weather, landscape, and even daily life. The story begins far from the coast in the high deserts of the Great Basin. Here, during the fall and winter months, a dome of high pressure often builds up, especially after cold fronts sweep through the western United States. This high-pressure system is like a giant invisible hand, poised to push air toward lower pressure areas. Air always moves from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure. In this case, the air rushes out of the Great Basin, heading southwest toward the lower pressure that sits just off the Southern California coast. This pressure difference is the engine that drives the Santa Ana winds. But the journey isn't smooth. The air is forced to squeeze through narrow mountain passes, like Cajon Pass and Santa Ana Canyon. This is where the Venturi effect comes into play. Just like water speeds up when you put your thumb over a hose, the wind accelerates as it's funneled through these tight corridors, sometimes reaching hurricane-force speeds. This acceleration is what creates the powerful gusty winds that Southern California is famous for. Palm trees bend, dust swirls, and anything not tied down can become airborne. These winds can last for hours, or even days, sometimes arriving with little warning. As the air descends from the mountains toward the coast, it undergoes a process called adiabatic heating. When air drops in elevation, it's compressed by the increasing atmospheric pressure, and this compression causes the air to heat up rapidly. For every 1,000 feet the air drops, it warms by about 5.5 degrees Fahrenheit. This means that by the time the wind reaches sea level, it's not only moving fast, but it's also much hotter and drier than when it started. The result? By the time these winds arrive at the coast, they're hot, dry, and relentless, earning them the nickname devil winds. They can make a cool autumn day feel like summer and suck the moisture out of everything in their path. This combination of speed, heat, and extremely low humidity makes the Santa Ana winds notorious, especially during the dry season. Vegetation dries out even further, and the landscape becomes a tinderbox ready to ignite. All it takes is a single spark, downed power lines, a careless cigarette, or even lightning, and these winds can turn a small fire into a raging wildfire in seconds, spreading flames across hillsides and neighborhoods with terrifying speed. So, understanding the high-pressure origins, the mountain pass acceleration, and the intense heating process helps explain why the Santa Ana winds are such a powerful and sometimes dangerous force in Southern California's climate and daily life. Here's where this weekend's story gets interesting. Instead of the usual high pressure over the Great Basin, the main driver is a storm system high in the atmosphere, a feature in the jet stream right over the southwest. This is a rare way to trigger Santa Ana winds. The jet stream, a fast-moving river of air, has buckled, forming an upper-level storm swirling over the region. This storm pulls air down from the northeast, rather than pushing it from behind. The result? Gusty, northeasterly winds, but powered by a different engine. This upper-level storm is the key to this weekend's winds, a classic effect from a non-classic cause. Because it's a storm, there's a bit more moisture aloft than usual. While most areas will stay dry, the system could spark a few stray showers over the deserts to the east. It's a paradox. Dry winds in one area, a chance of rain in another, all from the same storm. Let's dive into the timing and locations you need to know about for this wind event. Understanding when and where these winds will hit is key to staying safe and prepared. The winds will begin to pick up noticeably on Friday afternoon, with gusts gradually increasing as the day goes on. By Friday evening, you'll likely hear the wind howling outside, and it only gets stronger overnight. The peak of this wind event arrives late Friday night and continues through Saturday, with the strongest gusts expected during this window. Winds will remain gusty into Sunday morning before finally easing up by midday. That means we're looking at nearly 2 full days of blustery conditions, so it's not just a quick burst, but a prolonged event. As for the hardest hit areas, mountain passes like the Grapevine and Cajon Pass are at the top of the list. These corridors are notorious for channeling strong winds, making travel especially hazardous. The canyons and foothills of the San Gabriel and Santa Ana Mountains will also experience some of the most intense gusts. These spots act as natural wind tunnels, funneling and amplifying the gusts. If you're driving through these areas, especially in high-profile vehicles, be extra cautious. Residents in these zones should also be prepared for possible power outages and flying debris. But it's not just the mountains. Coastal and valley communities from Ventura down to Orange County will also feel the effects. While the winds here won't be quite as fierce as in the passes, they'll still be strong enough to knock over unsecured items and make outdoor activities challenging. Santa Ana winds are notorious for sneaking through any gap in the terrain. Even neighborhoods that seem sheltered can experience sudden, powerful gusts. Don't be caught off guard if you hear the wind rattling your windows or see dust swirling in your backyard. In fact, most of Southern California will feel these winds to some degree. The most severe impacts will be in the mountains, passes and foothills, but even urban and suburban areas should be on alert for gusty conditions. So, what should you do? Prepare for a weekend dominated by wind, no matter where you are. Take a few minutes to check your surroundings and make sure you're ready. Secure patio furniture, trash bins, and anything else that could become airborne. If you have outdoor decorations or lightweight items, bring them inside or tie them down. And finally, stay alert for updates and warnings, especially if you're in the windiest zones. Keep an eye on weather alerts and check in with local news for the latest information. Being prepared and informed is the best way to stay safe during this extended wind event. What do these strong winds mean for you? Expect gusts of 40-60 mph in prone areas, enough to snap tree limbs and topple shallow-rooted trees, especially after recent rains. Downed trees can knock out power lines, so be ready for possible outages. Charge devices, have flashlights and non-perishables handy. Utility crews will be on standby, but repairs can take time during a windstorm. If you drive a high-profile vehicle, be extra cautious. Crosswinds on highways like I-10, I-15 and 210 can be dangerous. Consider postponing non-essential travel through the windiest areas. Secure patio furniture, trash cans, and anything else that could become airborne. A quick yard sweep can save you headaches and prevent property damage. A little preparation goes a long way to making the weekend manageable. Stay safe and stay informed. Santa Ana winds often mean wildfire danger, but not this time. Thanks to a wet winter, the wildfire risk this weekend is low. Recent rains have left vegetation green and moist, making it much harder to ignite. The landscape is essentially fireproof for now, so fire officials aren't on high alert. Still, low risk isn't no risk. Don't get complacent. Be careful with open flames, barbecues, and power equipment that could spark in grassy areas. Avoid outdoor burning, and use caution during the windiest parts of the day. Following basic safety precautions keeps everyone safe. Enjoy the relief, but stay vigilant. Let's keep this low-risk situation from turning into an emergency. Smart choices make all the difference. Santa Ana winds bring dramatic temperature swings, and this weekend is no exception. As air descends and compresses, it heats up. Expect a taste of summer in early March. Downtown LA will climb into the 70s Friday, then soar into the low 80s Saturday at the wind's peak. Humidity will drop into the single digits or low teens, making the air feel even drier. Nights will be milder than usual, thanks to constant wind mixing. Once the winds die down Sunday, cooler, more seasonable air returns. By early next week, temps drop back to the 60s. A brief preview of summer, then back to normal. Enjoy the sunshine, but remember how quickly SoCal weather can change. From cool and rainy to hot and windy, all in a few days. Here's a twist. While most of SoCal stays dry and windy, the deserts could see a stray shower. The upper-level storm driving the winds carries some moisture and instability. The best chance for rain is over the high desert and mountain areas, and farther east into Arizona and New Mexico. Los Angeles will stay dry, but places like Joshua Tree might catch a brief shower Saturday. For most, expect sunny skies and crisp, dry air. This storm's dual personality, dry winds here, rain there, shows how complex weather can be. Impacts vary greatly depending on which side of the system you're on. To wrap up, a unique Santa Ana wind event is on tap, driven by an unusual upper-level storm. Winds will be gusty, temps warm, and fire danger low, but preparation is key. Secure loose items, charge devices, and know where your flashlights are. If you must travel, especially in high-profile vehicles, use caution in mountain passes and open highways. Avoid activities that could spark fires, even with low risk. The upside: brilliantly clear skies and summer-like warmth, perfect for safe outdoor fun. Enjoy the views and sunshine, but stay smart about the wind. Weather is part of life, understand it, respect it, and you'll handle this event with ease. Stay safe, enjoy the weekend, and keep an eye on the forecast. We'll be watching the weather for you right here.